Call Simon Templar what you will, but never cross the saint. Find out why to your peril at 7:30 p.m. tonight. But first, it's the Thamesmen.
Hello everyone, welcome to our Halloween special.
Yeah, it is Spooktober. But maybe if you're in internet land, it's Happy Christmas.
So we're doing a collection of spooky songs for this week to celebrate our candy holiday.
Exactly. And of course, by the time we actually finish it, it will probably be October will be past. But anyway, you know, who knows?
Hello everyone, my name is Alex. I'm in spooky San Francisco.
I'm in George. I'm in Los Angeles.
If you had to make a spooky meal, what would it be?
Spooky meal?
Yeah. Do you know what I would cook?
I'd
start off and I'd make goulash. And then for dessert, I would have ice cream. Oh, dear me.
This is such a lame idea, doing like Spooktober. I mean, what are we thinking?
Well, we don't have to dress up.
Well, I have.
No. What I'm saying is, like, we're ugly enough to spook anything, you know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We could have done it in fancy dress. But that would have involved work, wouldn't it? So.
I did. I'm actually a really fit 22-year-old. I actually put on a slightly overweight middle-aged man costume.
Fat suit. Yeah.
No, just a slightly overweight middle-aged man costume who still has boyish good looks, but fading.
And cheeky charm.
Like old fingerprints on handrails.
You like that expression, don't you? Did you make that up, or was that like from somewhere?
Bob Mortimer.
Oh, really? We like Bob Mortimer. Yeah.
Absolutely. And what about your costume? What are you wearing?
Dashing, debonair, Prince Charming. Yeah, that's what I am. So, yeah.
Did you get it and you bought it off the internet?
I haven't put it on yet. It's just around the corner.
So when you put it on, it looked nothing like the cover.
No, exactly not. Made out of sort of cheap nylon, you know. So
well, I'm excited about this track. We're going to do "Superstition" by Stevie Wonder, and I've got a bit of a admission.
Oh yeah, what's your admission?
I know pretty much sweet FA about Stevie Wonder. I've never really got into his stuff.
I've listened to some Stevie Wonder because I've done some work in his studio, which we can talk about afterwards if you like. Stevie Wonder is ridiculously talented. He is just mind-blowingly talented. You know.
I know. He's up there with both of us. But how many albums of his do you own?
Probably none. But you know, yeah. But,
how many Motorhead albums do you own?
A few.
Yeah. But I know this is a dichotomy, right? I know he's a savant.
Yeah.
I know he got his first record deal when he was 14. I know it all, right? And I know he plays every instrument there is under the sun or whatever. And yet I don't own any of the albums. Because I, like you, got into Motorhead when I was young and Hawkwind or whatever. I kind of bypass it. And I know I've got to go back and get into his albums. I just know it. It's a bit like I also know I'm going to like opera at some point. Not now, probably in 10 years' time. I haven't even started it, but I know I've got to go into his catalogue and start discovering.
Yeah, I think it's definitely one of the ones that was he was like creating all the stuff when we were definitely in another area, and so it's definitely a place we need to fill in gaps because he is just amazingly. I was going to say blindingly good, but I thought that was probably not appropriate.
No, it's not appropriate. No, not appropriate. Yeah. No. Right. So shall we check this out? This is Superstition, and it's live at Hyde Park 210. 210 there, mate.
210.
210. Chris picked the track, and I. You know, if it's live and 210, I reckon it's going to be a blinding performance. So this could be an indication of how good he is.
Let's check it out. Let's see.
All right. Blindingly good. Are you ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, boom. Love that horn.
You believe in things that you don't understand, and you suffer. Superstition is the way. Ooh, there is superstition. Watch your face, man. Rid me of the problem. Do all that you can. Keep in a daydream. Ooh. Keep me going strong. You don't want to save me. Sad in my song. You believe in things you don't understand, then you suffer. Superstition ain't the way. Yeah. Everybody scream! Very superstitious, nothing more to say. Very superstitious, never on its way. 13 months old baby, from to the king's land. 7 years of bed.
Wow.
The things ain't bad. You believe in things that you don't understand, and you suffer. Superstition is the way. No. Letitia, they just keep living in big superstition in the way. No.
Superstition ain't the way.
No, right now.
Superstition ain't the way.
No, not too good.
Superstition ain't the way.
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 I had the honor of receiving the Gershwin Prize last year, and it was an incredible honor for me to come back and to celebrate Sir Paul McCartney. And obviously, I'm very happy with me seeing a smile on his face recently. I ain't gonna get into his personal business, but as a businessman, I won't do that. But I'm just very happy to see him smile.
Well,
That's amazing.
Absolutely gobsmacking.
I mean, Stevie Wonder is wonderful. He is just fantastic. You know,
His voice is so good still.
the whole band was just stunning. Do you hear that bass line? Just that low bass line just throughout it was just brilliant.
Well, when the horns kicked in, I mean, I know the song right, but I hadn't heard it for a long. When those horns came in, what a line they were playing.
Yeah, just that like kind of that little rhythm, that repeat, you know, and you can't.
But it was a really unique. I wouldn't have written that line. It was just a really funky little line that they repeat over and over again. And I mean, he was just so exquisitely put together.
I mean, you cannot help but tap your feet and sort of like it's just like it's the ultimate like groove funk song. It's just he is so good. I would have
actually loved to hear an isolated bass line of that, you know, because I reckon I heard it, but I didn't hook into the bass. I would have loved to have heard that bass line.
I mean, whoever mixed that did a good job. Now, I've got somewhere a multi-track of Superstition, like in studio version of it. And so you can listen to each individual track. And it's
really?
I'll play it to you sometime.
When was it written? I mean, we should know this. I mean, we should do a bit of work, you know what I mean? Let's see.
Yeah. I mean, I don't, I think it was, I'm not entirely sure when Superstition was written, but it was probably 70s, you know?
Yeah. I'll try and find it. I won't spend too long. Yeah, I reckon it was like 70 because I mean that clav. But that is the. I mean, I play keyboards and that is the ultimate clav song. There's been no other songs to ever own the clav except for that. And also the clav is a pretty weird little sound to have, and it's really kind of clicky and sharp. But you couldn't imagine any other sound on that. It was just perfect.
Yeah, no, I like. I say like listening to the multi-tracks of it, like there is actually a little fault in it in one of the multi-tracks. In that there's like a guitar, like I think it's like a drum pedal or something which squeaks, or a drum stool or something that squeaks. And so you can just, if you really listen, if you isolate it, you can just hear this in the background sort of thing. Which is
so what were you doing in the studio? What were you doing in his studio?
I was doing some work in his studio, I was fixing something, and honestly, this is like one of the sort of the highlights. I was working there, and it had a glass wall from the studio, from the control room into his sort of like offices and things like that. And it was, and he had his assistant sort of brought him in and introduced him to me, and he said, "Hi, Stevie," and we shook hands, and it was like cool. And then he went and sat at the piano, and he had this grand piano, and he started playing "Strawberry Fields Forever." And he just, it was just him, and then I was in the back of the room, and he played "Strawberry Fields Forever" and sung it and played it the whole song.
No way!
And it was
a little Stevie concert.
It was like one of those like I'll never forget. That was like a magic, truly magic moment. You know, just he's special. He's real special.
The best studios of the world, is that up there? One of his.
His studio is really interesting. It's called Wonderland. It's in LA, and it's one of the original direct-to-disc recording studios. So it's built in like the 20s, I think, or something like that. And so today, where you have sort of big sealed doors and things like that, but then the way they did it was just even thicker doors. So it has these huge, thick doors between different areas, and it's got sort of Art Deco interior and stuff. And it's not in a great neighborhood, honestly, now. And he's got all his stuff. He doesn't throw anything away. You know, all his keyboards, all his like, everything, synths, clavs, they're all stored there. You know, he just does not sell or throw anything away. It was just insane amount of stuff.
Doesn't need the cash.
No, doesn't need the stuff.
Superstition was released in 1972.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
That's 1972 in England. We were in.
Not listening to music, probably. So.
Well, no, we were into long hair and denim and patches. You know,
I'm not that old. 72.
That was an absolute treat. That was an absolute treat. If he wrote that in 1972, right? That song is 50 odd years. That is 50. It was 50 years ago he wrote that song, and he did that in 2014. So you're doing 46 years ago. Right, or 44 years ago, and his voice is still wicked.
as good as ever. Honestly, he is like, he is a master. Honestly, we total respect to Stevie Wonder.
Between you and me, I think he could make it.
You think he'll be right? He'll do okay for himself. Yeah.
Put money on him. All right. Well, listen, join us tomorrow for another Spooktember. Is it October? No, it's Spooktember. No.
Not Spooktober.
Spooktober. Fuck.
It's not complicated.
It's complicated if you're dyslexic and you're English. Right? Just fucking Halloween, right?
It's Halloween. Halloween. Woo, woo.
Join us tomorrow for
We'll be calling from the other side.
We won't be here. We'll just be
just a Ouija board. Just like knock once for a new track. Right.
All right. See you tomorrow.
Such a ham.
Oh, yeah.